it's Lisa, and I'm so excited today because I'm ranking healthy breakfast foods. I love breakfast so much, and I hope you do too. And today we're gonna pit some really healthy breakfast foods against each other and see where they end up on a tier list. So I bet you're gonna be surprised at some of the foods that end up on the top and the bottom of this healthy breakfast tier list. Smoothies are very popular for breakfast because once they're blended up, you can drink them on the go as long as you have a to-go cup. Smoothies also can fairly easily get into milkshake territory if we're adding things like frozen yogurt to them, or even just a lot of like juices or sorbets, and not balancing out the fruit and the sugar found in those things with some protein and fat. So there's certainly ways to make really healthy smoothies. You'll want to add some fruit, maybe some greens, a protein source, and even a healthy fat source. So for protein, you could throw in Greek yogurt, maybe protein powder, maybe add a nut butter or avocado for a little bit of healthy fat. And those are gonna help make your smoothie more filling. But drinking your food is never really as satisfying as eating it. And for that reason, I'm giving smoothies a solid C, putting them in the C tier for breakfast. They can be very healthy depending on how you make them, but they're just not my favorite way to start the day. Yogurt is a great food to add to your diet, but it really matters the type of yogurt that you pick. So Greek yogurt is gonna give you a lot more protein than traditional yogurt because of the way it's made. It's strained and ends up being a lot higher in protein, which makes it great for breakfast because most people don't get enough protein at breakfast, and protein helps fill you up. It's also important that yogurt has probiotics, which are good bacteria, which are beneficial for gut health. That's another thing that gives yogurt sort of an edge up on some other foods. When you're shopping for yogurt, you wanna make sure you're choosing plain over flavored varieties, which can be fairly high in added sugar, which is a nutrient that most of us get too much of, and it doesn't really help fill you up. So my suggestion is to buy plain Greek yogurt, so you're getting that protein, no added sugar, and add some fruit to it to sweeten it up, and maybe add some granola or a whole grain cereal to balance out your meal for breakfast. However, yogurt's one of those foods that I just don't crave in the morning. I'll sometimes eat it for a snack. So for that reason, I'm putting yogurt in the B tier. Oatmeal is a classic breakfast food, and it's a favorite for good reason. Oatmeal is a whole grain, and it contains fiber, and it's been shown to be really beneficial for heart health. Fiber also helps keep you full for longer, so starting your day with oatmeal can help you stay full throughout the morning. Now, it's important how you make your oatmeal. I used to make oatmeal with just water, and one, it doesn't taste very good, and two, it's not as satisfying. So add some protein and healthy fats to your oatmeal. Maybe you're gonna make it with milk, or stir in a protein powder, or top it with some nuts or peanut butter, chia seeds, something that gives it a little more staying powder and just ups the flavor of the bowl of oatmeal. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't have time to make oatmeal in the morning, you might be wrong. You don't have to stand next to the stove over a pot of oatmeal and stir it for 15 minutes. You can make overnight oats, you can make instant oats, you can make baked oatmeal and store it in the freezer and heat it up when you need to eat it on the go. I'm also really loving blended baked oats. We did a recipe video for that we can drop here. So you basically blend up the oats and it turns into like a muffin or cake batter consistency. Super delicious. So if you couldn't tell, I really love oats, and for that reason, I'm putting them in the top or S tier of this breakfast foods list. Nuts and nut butters are another great food to add to your breakfast, even if they might not make up a meal on their own. So nuts are a great source of plant-based protein. They also have heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and a little bit of fiber. All of those nutrients help keep you full. And also, because of that, nuts are great to pair with some of those more carb-rich breakfast items that we think of, like oatmeal or maybe some nut butter on toast, to help balance out the effect of eating carbohydrates on your blood sugar, so you don't see like a massive spike and then a crash, and then you feel really hungry again before you even get to lunch. So nuts are very filling and very beneficial for your health. They've got a lot of really great nutrients. I also just happen to be totally in love with peanut butter. It is one of my favorite foods, and I can't live without it. But in addition to peanut butter, things like slivered almonds into granola or almond butter that you're stirring into oatmeal can be really great for you. And of course, other types of nuts like walnuts, pistachios, Brazil nuts all great for you and all a great choice for breakfast, which is why I give nuts and nut butters in A in their tier. Cottage cheese. This is not just your grandma's food, and it's definitely not just a diet food. In fact, cottage cheese is having a little bit of a comeback. Cottage cheese is very high in protein. There's over 20 grams per cup. So again, it's a really great way to get some more of that filling protein into your breakfast meal. You can take cottage cheese sweet by adding berries or granola to it the same way you would yogurt, or you can take it savory and throw it on top of an omelet or add some salsa to it to give it that more savory feel. Cottage cheese is a little higher in sodium than some of the other foods on this list, so if you're watching your salt intake, you may not want to have as much cottage cheese compared to someone who it may not be as much of a concern. Also, if you think you don't like cottage cheese, you may not just have found the right brand, or you may want to try whipping it. You can find whipped cottage cheese at the store, or just put it in your food processor or blender and blend it up to change that texture and consistency. I love a scoop of cottage cheese on top of oatmeal. And again, it's just a really nice high protein food to start your day, but it's not totally perfect. So for that reason, I'm putting it in the C tier. Berries are another great healthy food to add to your breakfast. So we're talking strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, very colorful, and that color comes with a serious health benefit. So anthocyanins are what helps give berries that color, and they're an antioxidant that have been linked to healthier brains and reduced risk of certain other types of chronic conditions. Plus, berries just taste really, really delicious. Like strawberries and blueberries easily top my list of favorite foods to eat. And they also have some fiber. So again, you're getting that nutrition there where they're gonna help keep you full. One thing to note with berries is they are delicious when they're fresh and in season, and they tend to be more affordable. But in the winter months or when they're out of season, don't sleep on frozen berries. They are just as nutritious as fresh. And while you can't just grab a handful of frozen berries, well, I guess you could, but they won't taste the same. You can thaw them and stir them into oatmeal or yogurt, or use them in smoothies. So we love berries. They're nutrient rock stars. I'm putting them in the A tier. Eggs, classic breakfast food. We couldn't make this list without them. And poor eggs have sort of been dragged through the nutritional mud. For a long time, we were told not to eat them or just to eat the egg whites, but it turns out eggs are actually really good for you. So one, they have protein. There's 6 grams of protein per egg, which is great, and it's a very high quality protein, which means you've got a really great ratio of those essential amino acids found in an egg. And when it comes to eggs, please don't throw away the yolk. The yolk has some powerful antioxidants in it, in addition to a nutrient called choline, which is important for brain health and a nutrient that most of us don't get enough of. You'll also find some of the protein in the yolk. Eggs are also super versatile. Of course, you can have them scrambled, fried. You can also bake up some muffin cups, especially helpful if you have busy mornings. Throw them into a breakfast tortilla or make a wrap with them or use them as an egg sandwich. I mean, the list goes on and on. But poor eggs, I'm so sorry you got dragged through the nutritional mud because you don't deserve it. In fact, you're going straight to the top of the list in the S tier. Chia seeds are a tiny seed that have a lot of nutrition going on. I love incorporating chia seeds into breakfast because it's a great way to add nutrition to what you already may be eating, like yogurt or toast, or again, sprinkled into a smoothie. Chia seeds are high in omega-3, which is a healthy type of fat that's great for your brain, your heart, your skin. They also contain some plant-based protein, and they contain some fiber. So chia seeds are really great from a nutrition standpoint. They obviously don't fill you up on their own though, and some people are a little put off by the texture of chia seeds. So I do love them, but I'm putting them in the B tier. Let's talk toast, specifically whole wheat toast. Bread in general has a bad reputation, but I love it, particularly whole grain varieties. So whole grains are gonna give you a little bit more when it comes to fiber, which is key for helping keep you feeling full. The other reason I love toast is it's so easy to have on hand. You can keep it in the freezer, throw it straight into the toaster oven, and top it with a variety of super healthy toppings, whether that's avocado and an egg, or cottage cheese and sliced strawberries, or my ultimate favorite go-to healthy breakfast, whole wheat toast with peanut butter and banana. There really are so many different ways to appreciate toast, and I'm so tired of bread just getting demonized out there. And because I literally eat this breakfast all the time, I have to put whole wheat toast in the S tier at the top. I can't let this list go by without mentioning coffee. It is a crucial element to my morning, and I'm sure many of yours. And despite the fact that it's tasty and helps perk us up, it also has some health benefits. So drinking moderate amounts of coffee has actually been linked to reduced risk of certain diseases like Parkinson's, certain types of cancer, and heart disease. It has a bunch of antioxidants and compounds in it that are beneficial for our health. So you certainly don't have to drink coffee. In fact, if you like tea or prefer that to coffee, that's also got a ton of great benefits to it from a health standpoint. But I love coffee, and I would be remiss not to mention it and put it right at the top tier in the S list, because not only is it delicious and a fun way to start the morning, but it's also really good for you. That's the end of our tier list. I hope you learned a little something. I, for one, am ready to go eat some more breakfast foods. I just made myself really hungry. Let us know where your favorite breakfast foods ranked or what you would have done differently. And if there's any other foods or meals that you want us to do a tier list for, in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more from me and Healthline, and cheers.